Today on Sports Central, we'll be going over a college football game preview and prediction on one of the big games coming up in Week 10 of this 2020 college football season. And that's going to be between West Virginia and Texas. And this is going to be a big game coming up in the Big 12 this week. Obviously, you got Texas on one side. Both teams got great wins last week. Texas upset Oklahoma State, and then West Virginia had a huge upset over Kansas State. So, yeah, kind of interesting thing here. Of course, we got Oklahoma State and Kansas State also playing this week. Meanwhile, we got two of the winners that beat both of those teams here this week going head-to-head. Should be an important matchup. Should be a great matchup as well. We're going to be going over a college football game preview and prediction on this one, starting out with your team trends. Last week, West Virginia beat Kansas State 37-10. Texas beat Oklahoma State 41-34 in overtime. So West Virginia, they completely blew out Kansas State. From the start, Kansas State was close, but West Virginia really pulled away in the second half of that game. And that's a huge win for West Virginia, considering both teams are 4-2 coming into this game. Texas is ranked 22nd, but West Virginia is definitely gaining some momentum here, and this could be a huge win for the Mountaineers if they could get a win here, because then, suddenly West Virginia is 5-2 and looking like one of the best teams in the Big 12. So, yeah, that's something you got to watch out for. But same thing for Texas. If they can just get a win here, that's going to be huge, because that means they will have won 3 straight games. And for Texas, this Texas team I still think has got a lot of potential with a great quarterback and Sam Ehlinger. Texas has got honestly no limit at all. I think Texas could easily be a team to represent the Big 12 in the Big 12 championship game later on this season. The game's going to be on Saturday, November 7th, noon Eastern in Austin, Texas. So the Longhorns will be your home team here. Spread currently says Texas by 6.5. ESPN FPI also has Texas 81%. Vegas prediction has got Texas by 6 with a final score of 37-31. So all three of our sources here do have Texas winning this game, which is not much of a surprise considering Texas is at home, and also they're coming off of a couple of better wins. But West Virginia, the Mountaineers are actually a really good team. I think they've got a lot of talent, but the only problem is a couple of weeks ago they lost to Texas Tech of all teams, and that was a bad loss for West Virginia. It didn't really look like West Virginia was going to be a very good team, but after a win like they had against Kansas State, I still think the Mountaineers can go on to have a great season. Like, this Mountaineer team still's got a lot of potential, I think. But here's your stat comparison for this game. This is through the first 6 games for both these teams. West Virginia's got 33 points per game, 19 points allowed, 292 pass yards a game, 172 rush yards. And then on the defensive side, West Virginia's actually been really good. 157 pass yards allowed and 97 rush yards allowed. So they've only been allowing like 240 yards average per game, which is a great stat. Usually some teams only have like 240 yards allowed for the passing. So all around, West Virginia's got a great defense so far. And on the offensive side, they've been playing really well there as well. 292 average pass yards per game is a great stat. So West Virginia, I would say, is in a comfortable position right now. As for Texas, they got 44 points per game, 32 points allowed, 284 pass yards a game, 165 rush yards, and then 277 pass yards allowed, and then 130 rush yards. So, Texas on the other side has got some great stats, but they've allowed a lot more yardage than West Virginia has up until this point. Here's some key points for this one. West Virginia obviously had a huge win against the Wildcats last week. That was a huge win for West Virginia. Looking back at that, it looked like West Virginia was going to be a dead team after losing to Texas Tech like they did. I think that was back in Week 8 when they lost to them. And, for West Virginia, they came right back alive, and they had a huge game against Kansas State, which, let me just say, Kansas State is not an easy team. That's a team with a ton of talent, and for West Virginia to control the game like they did against Kansas State was extremely impressive on their part. So good for West Virginia by getting a win last week. Meanwhile, for Texas, once again, gaining back momentum for sure. They've got a 2-game winning streak going right now, and that could easily continue with a win against West Virginia. And I can't exclaim how important this game is for both these teams. Obviously, on the Texas side, once again, if you get a win here, you're 5-2, and you have a 3-game winning streak, and that is a great way to go into the rest of November, is with a 3-game winning streak, because this is a really important time of the year, especially looking forward to the postseason. And I think both of these teams are still able to possibly make it to the Big 12 championship at the end of the season. It's just the winner of this, or the loser of this game, is going to have their chances of making that Big 12 championship extremely lower. I don't see the loser of this game even having a chance at making the championship. So that's also another reason why it's so important. And for both teams, having 3 losses, like 2 losses is usually okay if you're wanting to get into a good postseason position, but 3 losses is not what you want. And so that's why it's just so important for both these teams to get the win here. But I do expect a higher scoring game, I will say. I think both offenses are going to score a lot of points here. Obviously, both teams have scored over I think it's an average of over 30 points per game for both these teams so far. And I think Texas is in the 40s for that. Once again, we just went over that. And so, yeah, Texas is looking like a great team all around on offense. But yeah, the defenses will be very important here as well. But here's what I'm predicting for this game. I've got Texas getting the win. I think Texas is going to control from the start. West Virginia will hang around, especially in the first half, but I think Texas pulls away in the end, and they're going to get a win by 10, 41-31 being the final score. And I mean, I went back and forth on this one, but I mean, just looking at West Virginia, I mean, the Mountaineers are just so inconsistent. That is something that does concern me about the Mountaineers here, is because, I mean, they lose to Texas Tech one week, and they have a blowout win over Kansas State the other week. It's just crazy, the consistency of West Virginia right now. And I mean, if I were to look at both these teams, I definitely trust Texas more in the end. I mean, with Sam Ehlinger at quarterback, he's a much more reliable quarterback between both of these teams. And, of course, yeah, Jared Doge on the other side of West Virginia. But I think Texas in the end gets the win here. I think we're going to see a close game. Texas wins it by 10 in the end. But I just think, I mean, the Longhorns are the better team. They've got more talent in the end. And your probability is going to be 60% towards the Texas side. But do let me know your thoughts in the comments below on this game. If you enjoyed this preview, slap a like on it and subscribe as well. It really helps out the channel. I'd really appreciate that. You guys always, thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more from All Sports Central. I will see you all later.